Hi everyone, welcome to Numeric Learning. This is part 2 of Polynomials, the second video series. So, we will be covering the most important questions of each and every unit starting from now onwards. So, I have already posted a couple of very few videos from the first chapter, that is real numbers, and one other the previous video on polynomial was very basic to identify if the given algebraic expression is a polynomial or not, and if so, find the degree. So that was the first part of the video series from the chapter polynomial. So this is today's second one. Okay, so the question is, the first question for today: if one of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial, the polynomial is given k minus 1 into x square plus kx plus 1 is minus 3, find the value of k. Okay, so what are you given? You are given the polynomial and you are also given one of the zero. What do you mean by zero? That means in this particular polynomial, if you are substituting instead of x, if you are substituting minus 3, then the value of that polynomial p of x will be 0. Okay, let me write the general form. Okay, general form of a quadratic polynomial is nothing but ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, and you are given the polynomial. I am just going to denote it as p of x. It is nothing but k minus 1 into x square plus kx plus 1. This is the given polynomial. I am also given that one of the zero of this particular polynomial is minus 3, which means we are given that p of minus 3 is 0. Okay, instead of x, let us substitute minus 3, okay, which is nothing but k minus 1 into, instead of x, I'm just going to put minus 3 square plus k into minus 3 plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is nothing but k minus 1 into 9 minus 3 the whole square, minus into minus plus 3 into 3 is 9, minus 3k plus 1 equal to 0. So you have 9k minus 9 minus 3k plus 1 equal to 0. Solve the like terms first. 9k minus 3k is 6k, minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8 equal to 0. So 6k equal to 8. Therefore, k is equal to 8 by 6. You can further simplify it. So 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8. So the answer is 4 by 3. That is the value of k. Okay, for which one of the zero is minus 3. Okay, so this is how you have to do this kind of a question. You have to understand what does it mean when they are giving you the zero of a quadratic polynomial. Okay, hope you understood. Let us move on to the next question. Okay, now I hope it's more clear. The question states that the graph of a polynomial p of x cuts the x-axis at 3 points and touches it at 2 other points. Find the number of zeros of p of x. So the question says that the graph is something like this. That is, so 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5, which means so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. See, it says it cuts. Okay, here the graph of a polynomial cuts the x-axis at 3 points. 1, 2, 3. It cuts and it touches it at 2 other points. The number of zeros are, so always the number of points where the graph of a polynomial touches or cuts, that many zeros the polynomial will have. So therefore the number of zeros is 5. Okay, because the number of points it touches is 5. Okay, So this is how you have to answer. Always remember. Let's move on to the next question. So here the answer is 5. Okay. Now the next question is, find the zeros of the following quadratic polynomial. You are given a quadratic polynomial. What do you mean by quadratic? Polynomial means the highest degree of the polynomial is 2. That is why it is called quadratic polynomial. Okay. So here today, for such questions, you can use a technique which is called as middle term splitting. Okay, middle term splitting. I'll explain what it is. Okay, so here let us write the general formula or general form of the quadratic polynomial. It is ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, so this is your given question, and from here you can write what is a, right? So just compare it. So you see here there is no coefficient of x square, which means it's 1. Okay, so a is 1. What is b? B is nothing but minus 2. See the coefficient of x, right? B is minus 2 and c is minus 8. You have to be very careful because whenever you have a negative sign, you should also consider, because here it is positive. So when you have b, b is minus 2. C is minus 8. Okay, so let me write C is equal to minus 8. Okay, now two things. One is you have to find the product. Okay, and the other one is you have to find the sum. Okay, so product is nothing but it will be A into C. What is A into C in our case? 1 into minus 8, which is minus 8. Right? And what is sum? Sum will be nothing but it is B. It is just B. Okay, and what is B? B is nothing but minus 2. Okay, so product is nothing but, let me write it in a way that you people understand. Just a second. Okay, so here product is nothing but A multiplied by C and sum is nothing but the value of B. Okay, now you have to find out two numbers whose product will be minus 8 and whose sum will be minus 2. Okay, so immediately what will come is, so what are the two numbers which when multiplied will give you 8? Okay, so you will have 2 into 4, 4 into 2, 1 into 8, 8 into 1, right? All of these numbers. Now if you take 4 into 2, right? 4 2s are 8. Okay, but you need to have a negative sign. And when you add those two numbers, your sum should be minus 2. So I'll put a minus here because minus 4 multiplied by 2 will give you minus 8. This is satisfied. And minus 4 plus 2 will give you minus 2. This is also satisfied. And these are the two numbers. These are the two numbers. Okay, always remember, so whenever you're doing middle term splitting, the very first thing is you have to find what is A, B and C. The product is nothing but A multiplied by C. Okay, and the sum is nothing but the value that you have for B. Find two numbers whose product will be minus 8 and whose sum will be minus 2. You have to think of two numbers and you can validate it as well. Now our job becomes really easy. You have to do factorization. Okay, so from the given question you have to just do the middle term splitting. That is, which is the middle term? Always make sure you are, whenever you are doing this, make sure before finding A, B, C, right, make sure it is in this order: x square, and the middle term is always x and then constant, x square, x and constant. Only then you will be able to compare it with the general form and then get A, B and C. Okay, even if x square is in the third place or x is in the first place or the constant is in the first place, rearrange and write in a way such that x square, x and the constant are one after the other. It's in this order. Okay, so now let's do. From the given question you have x square. This middle term you have to split. You can write it like this, right? Instead of minus 2x, I will write minus 4x plus 2x minus 8. This is the given question. Take x common out, x minus 4 plus 2, again from the third and the fourth term take 2 common, x minus 4. So now the factors will be x minus 4 into x plus 2. Okay, so you can equate. So this is nothing but this is the quadratic polynomial, right? So these are the zeros. So x minus 4 is equal to 0 and x could be 4. Okay, so this could be one of the 0. And x plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so x will be minus 2. So either you will have x equal to 4 or x. So these are nothing but the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Okay, given quadratic polynomial. Let's do some more question based on it. Okay, so the next question is, you can pause it, try doing it once again. You will use the same thing and we'll try another question. The question is 3x square plus 10x plus 3. Again, you have to find the zeros of this quadratic polynomial using factorization, and the method is middle term splitting. Okay, here again, it's the same thing. So you have a equal to 3. Yeah, so you have to compare this with ax square plus bx plus c. So a is 3, what is b? Plus 10, and what is c? Is 3. Yeah, so find the product and find the sum. What is the product? I told you it is a into c, which is nothing but I'm going to directly write it as 9. And the sum is nothing but 10. Now this is very easy. The numbers are just 9 and 1. 9 into 1 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. So these are the two numbers. Always validate it. And for the given question, that is 3x square plus 10x plus 3, I am going to do the middle term splitting. So 3x square, instead of 10x, I am going to write it as 9x plus x. Okay, 9x plus x plus 3. Okay, I'm going to take 3x common here, which will leave me, so inside you'll have x plus 3. Yeah, plus 1 common, x plus 3. Again, from these two terms, I will take x plus 3 common, and then the leftover is 3x plus 1. Okay, now we have done the factorization. So these are the two factors. These are called factors. And what do you mean? What are the zeros? Just equate x plus 3. Each of the factor you have to equate it to 0. So x will be equal to minus 3. So this is one of the 0, and the other one is 3x plus 1. Yeah, equate this to 0. So 3x is nothing but minus 1, and x is nothing but minus 1 by 3. So these are the two zeros. So what are you asked? You have to find the zeros. So these are the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Okay, you should always make sure you complete this answer in this way. Okay, let's do another question. Pause the video and do try it yourself. Okay, next question. Find the zeros of the following quadratic polynomial. The reason I am doing this question is, this is one of the most important question in your polynomials chapter, and you have to be very clear about how to do factorization using middle term splitting. Okay, so here again I'm going to write it again. So here you have your a. Now again, you cannot write a unless you have rearranged it, right? So here the x term is first, then constant, and then x square. So what is the first thing that you have to do? Rearrange it in a way like this. So first will be x square term, so minus 2x square. Next will be your x term, that is plus 7x, and then your constant, that is minus 6. Now let's write what is a. A is minus 2, b is 7, C is nothing but your constant minus 6. Your product will be minus 2 into minus A into C. So it is minus 2 into minus 6. Minus into minus is plus. 2 into 6 is 12. And your sum is nothing but 7. So again, it's very easy. What is 4 and 3? 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. 4 plus 3 is 7. Now let's do the middle term splitting. So this is your, so minus 2x square. I'm going to write 7x as plus 4x, this one, and 3x. Yeah. So this I am doing the middle term splitting. Middle term splitting. So the middle term is being split into 2. So 4x plus 3x, and the last constant I'm writing it as such. Take minus 2x common out. So you'll have x minus 2. Take plus 3 common out. So you'll have x minus 2. Okay. So x minus 2 multiplied by minus 2x plus 3. So these are the factors of the given quadratic polynomial, and let's equate it to 0 to find the zeros. X minus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to 2. This is the first 0 of the given quadratic polynomial, and the second 0 is minus 2x plus 3. The second factor I am equating it to 0. So minus 2x equal to minus 3. Minus minus will get cancelled, and x is equal to 3 by 2. This is the second 0. So therefore 2, 3 by 2 are the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Okay. If you write it completely till the end, so clearly, right? All of these carry mark. You just cannot leave it with finding the zeros. You have to write therefore, because the question is find the zeros. So you should not be, lazy enough to not write the last sentence. You should finish. This is how so for identifying what is ABC, for finding the correct middle term, for finding the zeros, and for final answer, every step carries marks. So you have to write it in a very clear manner. Okay, so that will show how much confident you are about this particular concept. Let's do one more question. Yeah. Okay, so this is another question. So it's already, if the very first thing is, read the question. Find the zeros of the following quadratic polynomial. So you have to find the zero. So the method is factorization using middle term splitting. See, it is x square, x, and you don't have to rearrange. It's in the correct form. So what is a here? A is 7. Okay. B is nothing but minus 19. And C is nothing but minus 6. Okay. What is the product? 7 multiplied by minus 6 minus 42. What is the sum? It is minus 19. Okay. So if you're not able to immediately identify the two numbers whose product will be minus 42, whose sum will be 19, what you have to do is immediately do the prime factorization of the product. Okay. So when I do prime factorization, I will start from the smallest prime number. So 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2. Yeah. Now look at these two numbers, 2 and 21. Okay. So if I write 21 and 2, okay, when you multiplying it, you will get 21 multiplied by 2 is 42. If I put a negative sign here in minus 21, you will get, when you add it up, right, minus 21 plus 2 will be nothing but minus 19. So it is, these are the two numbers. Now let us do the middle term splitting. So 7x square, instead of writing this minus 19x, I will write minus 21x and plus 2x. Okay, so minus 21x plus 2x minus 6. 7x common out, x minus 3 plus 2 common out x minus 3. Okay, take x minus 3 common from both the terms. The left out is 7x plus 2. So these are the factors. You have factorized it. And in order to find the zeros, you have to equate each of the factor to 0. So x minus 3 equal to 0 and x equal to 3. This is 1. 7x plus 2 equal to 0. So 7x equal to minus 2 and x is equal to minus 2 by 7. You are not supposed to leave the answer as this. Okay, you have to write therefore 3 and minus 2 by 7 are the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Okay, quadratic polynomial. This is how you complete it. Okay, yeah, it's complete. Now I'm going to give you 3 questions and you will do it the same way. Okay, so with this you will be able to completely. So if you are getting a question to find the zero of a quadratic polynomial, you will very easily be able to solve it. Okay, do try, do subscribe, and let's continue polynomials tomorrow in the next video. Do subscribe and do comment if you like my teaching and if you are able to understand. Okay, thank you.